Welcome back to the Portal Bonanza podcast, brought to you by Hoop Scoop Media. We are back after another extended absence. Yeah, I've been home from school now for a little bit, but yeah, the portal has officially stopped now. There are no new players going into the portal, grad transfers or not. It does not matter at this point. So now that the portaling season is over, commitments are still a good few on the board to happen yet. But what are your takeaways now that the players have stopped filing in?
Um, yeah, we've just been guessing, where people go and everything like that. And that news has been coming out with a lot of big targets and things. So
Yes, I do like that the NCAA had the firm deadline for everyone, including grad transfers,
yeah,
because then like you know who you're gonna have. Like right now, there's obviously still a few draft decisions on the board, stay or go, but like you know that who's on your roster is gonna be on your roster. Like you don't have to
even
worry
with
about,
like
yeah.
a lot of the grad transfers, like a lot of them get done in April. So like they did have time, um,
Yeah,
to
and I mean
figure out if they were
you can
coming
still
back.
enter as a grad transfer even if you're not graduating until like May
Right,
because like you're gonna be a grad transfer. Like that's how it works.
exactly.
Um
So it's a W by the NCAA for sure.
yes, no more Javon Quinterly June entries like who entered like Cam Spencer entered a little bit later, like Zion Pullen, Paul Mulcahy, those are a few guys that entered after the deadline, I believe,
It's
last
just not
year.
good for the sport.
Yes. So yeah, definitely helps coaches a lot, not having to worry about any portal entrance after the May 1st deadline. But yeah, we are past that, and yeah, we will get right into the commitments. One of the bigger stories of the week is St. John's. They finally got some of the big name guys. They pulled in. They got two of them. Very similar players, in fact. They got Kadary Richmond in conference from Seton Hall and Deivon Smith from Utah. Um, Pretty similar. I mean, like Richmond's a lot bigger, but they kind of do the same stuff. They can get to the rim, good passers, really physical. So I know you were really in on both these guys. I mean, they're both really good. So what are your thoughts?
Yeah, the fit we'll see next to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ideally like if they got another shooter with their last
Mm.
roster spot. But
Shooting might be rough.
yeah, defensively they're going to be way better than last
Mm-hmm.
year. I will say that. Kadari, I think Davion could defend a little.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Scott's an excellent defender.
Scott is great. Zuby is great down there.
Mm-hmm.
Defensively they were not good last year. For
Which is
majority of the
which is
season.
odd for Rick Pitino because he's like one of
Yeah,
the best defensive coaches ever.
you just look at his personnel, and
Mm-hmm.
that's probably a big reason for it. You got a
Yes.
lot of shot creating guards that generally
Mm-hmm.
play the other end. And Soriano doesn't really defend. So
Yeah.
there's that. I think they'll definitely be really improved on that end, but it's about getting that last shooter, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Shooting is not going to be great on this team, but yeah, these are two great ads. Can do a lot of things on the court, and yeah, really, you can at least feel good about St. John's. Like after getting these guys, like for a
For
while, it
sure.
was like, oh, they're not going to get anyone. They tampered with Cliff to get into Portal, and they not going to get him. They tampered with Omier, they're not going to get him. But yeah, speaking about Omier though, Norchad Omier is off to Baylor. The Miami transfer opting to come back to college after it seemed like it was likely he would go pro. And yeah, I really like this move. Baylor was lacking front court pieces. They have an elite backcourt, but yeah, definitely didn't have a front court. But Omier is excellent, really physical player, really good rebounder, plays with a ton of energy. So, any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think he's built for Big 12 play with how physical he is, even if he's a bit short.
Yeah.
He's definitely one of the most unique players in the country. If you ever get to watch him over the years, you'd
Hmm.
know the kind of rim protector he is for being 6'7", 6'8" is incredible. He is. I think he's going to be great.
Yes. Another elite rim protector off the board. That is Cliff Omoruyi. Had quite the recruitment. it was probably the most covered recruitment of the year in the portal. Deservedly or not, but yeah, he's off to Alabama. Great pickup for Alabama. Gives him a real rim protecting defensive anchor big, which they were kind of missing a little bit last year. They had it the year before with Bediako. And yeah, this is a great move for Alabama. I mean, they have a guy that can, yeah, their defense is going to be very good now with
Yeah,
him.
log jams everywhere. They got log jam at guard. They got log jam at big. You got Jaron, you got Grant, now you got Cliff.
Yeah, those guys are fours though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're interchangeable though. You could play them at the five if
Yeah.
you. I mean, there were times last year where they did play at the five.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, Cliff is huge as like a true five, elite
True.
rim protector. I do think he was extremely overrated in the portal though. He's a great
Hey,
player, and maybe some of him being bad offensively is due to Steve Peichel, who's just like, even though we all like him, he's just not a good offensive coach. But at the same time,
he's missing
yeah,
laps. Um, he's missing a lot of close range shots. So, as bad as
yes,
Peichel is offensively,
yeah,
I can't really like 100% blame. Although I will say
yeah,
they tried to play through Cliff like way too much last year to where he
yeah,
was taking crazy mid range shots and it was bad. So that definitely
yes,
affected his efficiency a little bit, but I definitely wouldn't be paying how many million for a guy who has
no,
one
yeah.
year eligibility left.
Yeah, I mean, there was one report that came out that someone offered him $2 million. That was not Alabama; it was a different team. But like, I was like thinking about is Cliff really any better than like Justin Abson?
No,
Like, they're the same
absolutely
player
not.
basically. Like, I don't
Um,
think, yeah. Like, and I guarantee you, Abson wasn't
Cliff,
getting offers of $2 million.
it's cool. He's really good at it, but there's so many other centers that do the same
Hmm.
things. Like
I mean, yeah, Cliff is really good, but like $2 million, like that's too much for a guy
rim
like that.
protecting a defense, like there's a lot of centers who do those
I
things
mean,
that have
not in the
more
portal,
years
not
of
in the portal.
eligibility. I mean, they've already committed. That's why.
Yeah, like he's one of
Um,
the best centers in the portal, but like it's $2 million. Like there's only a handful of players. Maybe I don't know if I would even offer like anyone in college basketball that type of money. Definitely not
nah,
him.
definitely not. Especially someone who has a year left.
Yeah.
Um, no, but like his just attributes for a center aren't really unique. Like if there's a center
Yeah.
I'm actually going to pay a lot of money, I want him to be unique. I want him to have all these kind of
Mm-hmm.
skills. Someone like Sean Pryor, that's why he's focusing on the draft
Yes.
because he's looking like, oh wow, this draft class is really weak. If I
Mm-hmm.
get some attention, I could actually get drafted this year, and it's very true.
Yes.
So someone like that, I would pay not 2 million, but I would pay a lot for like
Mm-hmm.
Cliff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fits in perfect with this Alabama team now. Definitely a great pickup for
Yeah,
sure.
they do need Mark Sears though.
Yes. If they get Mark Sears, they could be number one.
They're number one.
If
It
it,
becomes
yes,
number one.
I think so. But yeah, Anthony Delorso, Campbell transfer. He is off to Arizona. I loved his fit. I'm a big Delorso guy, as have previously stated on the podcast. And Arizona, they kind of came out of nowhere. It was like, oh, he visited TCU, he visited Vanderbilt, Virginia might be in the mix, but then Tommy Lloyd, his international president, just came in at the last minute, got Delorso. I was pretty high in Arizona to come in with, but getting Delorso like bumps him up a whole new level for me. Like that's a guy that I think can be a number one option. There obviously is some skepticism involved, having come from a pretty bad Campbell team, not great competition who's been playing all year, but Delorso is very skilled, can create his own shot, really wiry, lengthy, can shoot it pretty decently. Not a huge high volume guy, but can definitely make his fair share of threes. Like he can
um,
translate.
yeah, it just kind of depends. Is Caleb Love coming back?
That's still up for grabs.
He needs to go to the job force, please.
Yeah. I don't know if like I want him to come back or not because he's a very good player, but like I don't know. Like
Even though he will just get in the way of shots that Delorso could be taking.
yeah,
I want him to be the
probably.
number one. I want him to get that opportunity as a player I really like.
Hmm.
Because if Caleb Love doesn't come back, he is the clear number one option to me.
Yeah, I would agree.
Arizona has a bunch of really solid players, but they just don't really have the number one without Delorso.
Yes,
So
that's what I was thinking.
um, I really think that role is made for him. Bring Caleb Love back, and I don't know how the two coexist that well. We'll see. I mean, but yeah, really good pickup for Arizona. I think the fit is amazing if Caleb doesn't come back. So
Yes. Kentucky, they got a few shooters to add to the roster, and Kerr Kriisa from West Virginia and Kobe Brea from Dayton. These both happened like a while ago, like right
good
after
luck
our last
with
podcast. So definitely not new news there. But yeah, both guys can really shoot the ball. That's the bottom line, I think.
it.
And yeah, we'll see how Kentucky looks like. I generally like the roster. I think they're if they got like Jackson Robinson, that I would really like them a lot more.
They just need a star. That's all they're missing right
Hmm.
now is a star guard. I think the roster, you know, is really well constructed. It's just
Hmm.
that guy.
Yeah.
Jackson Robinson
And
would make them
yeah.
elite.
And with Mark Pope, you don't really need like a star guy in the same sense. Like
No,
he just opens everything up. Like you don't need a guy that can like break you down off the dribble like that. But Robinson would be like
same time, they don't
a
even have
perfect ad.
kind of roster. I feel like right now that they'd be able to open teams up.
Hmm.
Like
Yeah, I still think yeah, you need like one more guy like Jackson Robinson. That would be perfect if they ended up getting him. Um,
I'd
but
be
yeah.
rude if they got him because defensively they're going to be really good.
Yes. Um, Khalif Battle, Arkansas transfer. He is off to Gonzaga. Gonzaga is looking so good next year. Like Battle might not even start. Like I was like the only guy that really had him number one like at my way too early rankings, and like this team is loaded.
They're loaded and no one's talking about it. Like,
No, like everyone has him pretty high, but like I haven't seen people like make some like really
yeah,
be
I
in
mean,
on them,
look,
and I am
if
really
Mark
in
if
on
Mark
them.
Sears doesn't come back, they're number one. I
I
mean,
agree. I agree. Even if he does, like there can be a debate there.
they're right. Even if he does, like battle as a six man
Yeah, and I
again.
mean he could start like you don't know how the rotation is going to go exactly. Michael Ajayi did get a combine invite. I don't think he'll stay in the draft, but that could be.
Possible. I think he's just testing waters, getting
Yeah,
feedback.
but the fact that he actually got a combine invite is
It's true. I mean,
sticks
he is
out.
a really good prospect. There's no
Yes,
denying that.
I don't
Um,
think he'll stay in the draft. I don't really think he'll get drafted, but we'll see how the
he would
combine
be
goes.
he
That
would
can
be late second round if he did.
yeah,
Um,
we
but
will see. But yeah, Gonzaga kind of has everything on the roster. They don't have a true rim protector. I don't
I will
think
say this.
really,
I
but
mean,
like.
Khalif Battle with an actual like offensive genius coach
Mm-hmm.
could be really fun.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, he's gonna be pretty good there. Villanova, they got VCU guard Max Shulga. I mean, I'm a really big Max Shulga guy,
Same.
so good pickup. We'll see how everything else goes though. I love Shulga. He can really shoot the ball, can
He
kind of
is.
run the point guard. He's a great player for any team, but Villanova's not looking great right now.
You also brought up a good point where, he's being asked to be the number one option and,
Yeah,
he's
like
never
Max Shoga's not a number one option guy, in my opinion.
right. He's not extremely quick off the dribble or anything like
Yeah.
that. He doesn't get amazing separation. He's crafty. He's a very
Yes.
crafty scorer.
Mm-hmm.
This can work, but you know, he's gonna have a lot of the Lions share right now.
Yes. We'll see if Dixon comes back or not. That would change that part.
But
But yeah, Villanova. I don't know what you're doing with all this money they have. They did allegedly pay Shoga quite a bit, but like they got to have like a lot more sitting around. They're just getting like mid-major transfers.
yeah, I think they're close to getting somebody else, and I think that
Hopefully. I mean, they
Luca
have been close to
Poplar.
getting other people. They were close to getting like
Um,
Andrew Carr. They were close to getting I don't know who else, but
that's the thing. If
it's
you lose out on Luga, if you lose out on Pryor, the guys are just going to get worse and
yeah,
worse.
like who else is out there? I saw they had Enoch Boyake on a visit. Um, He would be a solid backup big, but there's no starting big in the picture. That's the issue.
Right.
Um,
Uh,
yeah, Desmond Claude committed to USC though. I don't know. I mean,
USC is being hyped up so much, dude. I'm just not seeing it, man. No
I will
way.
say Claude is a guy that can be like a difference maker, but like he wasn't that good. Like we kind of
No.
mentioned this on the last podcast that there was a possibility of him going to USC. Like he's probably going to be your number one option, and like he's not that good.
I will say this, him and St. Thomas being number one options on the Power Five level, and they've both never really done it before, is really
Yeah.
concerning.
Yeah, I mean Claude has that high major experience, but like he wasn't that
And
good. Like he put up
wasn't
numbers,
really a
but
number
like
one either. That was always Quincy. Um,
yes, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. Javon Small off to West Virginia though. Really good pickup. Really gets me in a little bit on West Virginia. I was pretty concerned, but if they get like one more piece, I think I'm gonna be pretty in on them.
yeah,
Um,
I think they're a tournament team right now. I do. Not firmly, but I'd have to run down their roster again to get a refresher.
yes, I mean they have Small, DeVries, but yeah, Small is really good. Had a really good season for Oklahoma State, despite them not being so
Selfishly, am I
good.
mad that Javon Small didn't go somewhere else? Yeah. You know what? I mean, he's fine at West Virginia. I wanted him at Miami, which I discussed yesterday. Um,
Yes.
I think Miami screwed up by paying Blackman over John Small. Um, I think they really could have used a two-way presence. Um, and now I just think, now you have Jalen Blackman with their backcourt. It's going to be a lot of shot chucking. So I don't know. I'm nervous. Anyway,
Yes. Yeah, Virginia, they got a bunch of guys. They got TJ Power from Duke, Elijah Saunders from San Diego State, Jalen Worley from Florida State, and they also got Carter Lang from Vanderbilt, who I believe is a preferred walk-on. But yeah, they got some guys. Power definitely is a good take. I mean, they're all like Worley, I don't know. I don't like this Virginia team very much.
no, absolutely not. Worley, here's the thing, right? Virginia needs some shooting. Um,
McNeely can
Worley
shoot. But yeah, besides,
Worley can is the opposite of anything shooting.
yeah.
Um,
Can Power? I think Power can
I
shoot.
don't even know.
He didn't play as much, but like he's like a combo forward. So
Saunders has the ability to become a good shooter.
yeah, Power took like basically all three. So yeah, he's a shooter.
Saunders is my favorite pickup before, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean I think Power definitely has a higher ceiling, but Saunders, I mean you kind of know what you're getting out of him based on what he did this season.
Mm, and his
Um,
ceiling's respectfully also pretty high.
yeah, he doesn't stick out to me as like a super high ceiling guy, but
Yeah, I just
especially
want
at
his
Virginia.
perimeter game has some potential.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure. He definitely is a versatile piece on forward there. But yeah, I don't like this Virginia team very much. We'll
no,
see.
you're not
Oklahoma, they
trying.
got High Point transfer Duke Miles. He had a big year at High Point. He can really score the ball. Good pickup for Oklahoma. They're still not looking great, but this is a very good pickup to beat out Auburn for him.
Yeah, I thought he'd be going to a really good team, but for Oklahoma to get him.
Yes. TJ Bamba, Villanova transfer off to Oregon. Good pickup for Oregon on a wing backcourt. Can really score the ball. And going kind of back to the Pacific Northwest, where he played at Washington State for a few years. Yeah, his biggest thing is just being able to really score it. And yeah, I like Oregon if they can stay healthy. Which
For sure, yeah, they look good on paper. Again, it's just health.
yes, Ohio State they got Duke big Sean Stewart. Very good addition. I was in on Stewart. Didn't see a ton of time this year, but should be really physical presence down low. Good combination with him and Bradshaw. A little bit different players, so I like that.
Ohio State done a tremendous job in the portal.
Yes,
I think every time, when Okara left, they immediately got a replacement. They've been on top of things. things like that. I think the roster really fits. Um, yeah, I'm really excited.
Yes. RJ Melendez has committed to Mississippi State from Georgia. I like this one. I like this one. Melendez was actually very good this year. Gives Mississippi State a better upgrade on the wing.
Yeah, he needed that.
So I really like this one.
What's Mississippi State's front court looking like? Someone asked the other day.
Their front court, I don't think it's too great. They got Keyshawn Murphy back, who withdrew from the portal last
Right.
week. I mean, they have a few. Let's see. I'm trying to think if I'm missing. I'm probably missing someone. Um, I mean, they got like Michael Nwako. Yeah, I don't think they have much in front
Well, the
court.
thing is, Johns can really make a lot of front court pieces
Cameron
look
Matthews,
really
he's like
good.
a point
He's a
forward.
three.
He's just kind of,
Yeah.
he's probably going to be the point guard though. Like he's on like offensively, um, which he was like last year, kind of down
Yeah,
the
he was.
stretch.
You're right.
He can, yeah, he's an
Point
interesting
forward.
player. Yes. Um, Dutiero has committed to Arkansas from Kentucky following John Calipari. Yeah, not actually like sort of surprising because it was like North Carolina or Pitt and Arkansas just jumped in the last minute and Coach Cal got him to Arkansas to follow. And yeah, really good pickup, really solid glue guy, good defensive piece. Offensive game is still a little bit limited right now, but definitely a solid piece. Gives them a little bit more experience to build to the roster.
Yeah, Arkansas needed a guy like that. Definitely. So it fits them pretty well.
Yes, UCF, they're building a team of all time. They got Jordan Ivy Curry from UTSA and JJ Taylor from Memphis. They're trying to get like as many like they're just trying to build like the worst possible locker room environment. I'm convinced
They
that's what's
are
happening.
really
Did you see?
incredible.
You see? Ivy Curry got arrested like last week.
He is such a clown. I'm just going to say that right now. He is such a clown. From the agent to the flip flopper schools. I mean, the dude is
Yeah.
terrible.
He was like kind of good this year, but like yeah, I wouldn't take a risk on
Guess who's
him.
taking his place at UTSA? Primo Spears.
Yeah. UTSA got a few guys though. We'll talk about it later, but yeah, UCF they have so many head cases on the team right now. SMU got a few guys. They got Matt Cross from UMass, really good pickup. They also got Jarrell Colbert from K-State. Should be a solid backup big option there. But yeah, Cross had a really good season.
He did. He
He
was
can
elite.
kind of do it all.
And I hope,
So,
I think SMU did lose somebody to the portal. Someone decommitted or
yeah, Jaheim
withdrew.
Hudson was a late portal entry.
Yeah, I don't know how good they'll be, but especially under
They have some
Andy.
pieces. I mean, they have with him and with Cross, with Boopy. They got
Yeah,
some more guys.
unfortunately, they have my least favorite coach of the hiring cycle. So
Yeah. South Carolina, they got Jamari Thomas days after he committed to VCU. Was not a Ram for very long. He switched his commitment, and yeah, the money came calling, and South Carolina needed a point guard, and they got him. So
yeah, certainly interesting. It was not on my bingo card for South Carolina. Definitely an interesting fit for the Lamont Paris culture. Really fast paced.
yeah.
South Carolina played slow last year.
Yeah, I mean they didn't have a point guard, so I mean,
Yeah, that's very true. They did not have a point guard. Yeah, Jamari's not bad. He can play out of control sometimes. I think that was a lot due to just how Norfolk State played. I think Lamont will get him to be
yeah,
a more
he was really good
disciplined
at Norfolk
player.
State.
He was though. Yeah, just an intriguing fit for me. I just gotta see how it goes. So
Yes. Memphis, they got SMU transfer Tyreek Smith. I'm a big Tyreek Smith guy. Not like
they did
huge
get
for a
Tyrese
five.
Smith. I guess I missed that.
Yes,
Um,
he's kind of like a smaller five, but definitely makes up. He's an elite rim protector, elite rebounder, really gives you a lot of physicality, everything that you kind of want. Even though he's a bit undersized, he makes up for it. So yeah,
If Penny fails at this roster, he needs to be fired. I'm just gonna say that.
probably,
This
yeah.
this needs to be the last straw.
If
Enough
they get David Jones back, they could be like really good, but they
could be,
could have
but
been
like
really good last year too.
the
So
fit of the roster is just like, ugh,
yeah,
it's never good with Memphis.
no, it's not.
Penny doesn't like rosters that fit.
Yeah, that is true. Um, Georgia, they got a few guys. They got Tyron Lawrence from Vanderbilt, and they got RJ Godfrey from Clemson. Two solid pickups that are pretty proven, can play right away, can fill a role, and yeah, I kind of like Georgia, I think.
Yeah, I think Tyron can have a big season with the pieces they have around
Yeah.
them. I think
Well,
he's
we'll
going to
see
take
though,
a lot
because
of
that's a
shots.
crowded backcourt. That's a crowded backcourt.
It is. I think he's probably the best member, but it's crowded.
Mm, yeah.
Um, yeah, no, LaFew is also good though.
Yeah. Demery and
And
Kane are going to be pretty good as sophomores, I think,
oh,
too.
of course, yeah, no, it's just the thing. Blue Kane's gonna have a big sophomore jump. Damari's will probably even have a bigger one because he wasn't amazing last year. But no, yeah, Georgia should be really good. Um, Especially the defense they got in the front court. They didn't really have last year. I mean, look, Russell Tachiwa is a big guy, but like he was not mobile at all. And to be a good rim protector, you got to be able to move. um, you got to have some mobility. I think Justin Appson really gives them that, and I
Yes.
think maybe Mike White might have a good defensive team this year. Knock on wood.
We'll see. We'll see. But yeah, BYU, they got Utah transfer Keba Keita. Really solid physical big. Kind of like Tyreek Smith, not like huge, but he makes up for it with his physicality. He's still a really big guy and strength. Yeah, had a pretty solid year for Utah and will go within the state to BYU.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how Kevin Young is. You know, being an assistant on NBA staff is very attractive. Um, the Suns have been a pretty good program in the NBA before recently.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll
So
see.
I'm kind of curious to see how much he
Yes.
really did for the Suns and seeing if he translates well to the college level. We'll see, but I mean, I have pretty high expectations for him. I've heard a lot of good things. So,
All right, we just had some technical difficulties. We are back. You would not know that we have technical difficulties because we'll put the podcast together. But yeah, as I was saying when my Wi-Fi just went out, New Mexico, they got BYU transfer Tiki Tiki. Solid backup big.
okay, I like it.
Yeah. Louisville, they got Charleston transfer Kobe Rogers, who will redshirt this year as he's recovering from an injury. So yeah. Louisville, they have two players redshirting this year, but yeah, pretty solid pickup. He was a pretty impactful player at Charleston. Hopefully, he uses this year to also um, expand his game, maybe be more ready for the power conference level. So yeah, Posh Alexander, Butler transfer, has committed Dayton. Um, what do you think about that one?
I think he's going to be really good there. I think both ends, probably will have a lot of volume. See if that's a good thing, but the A10 level should be. But yeah, no, I like the fit a lot for Posh.
Yes. Cameron Fletcher, Florida State transfer. He is out to Xavier. We'll see if he can stay healthy. But yeah, he's actually pretty good when he's healthy. Good shot making forward.
Yeah, good depth piece for Xavier. Definitely does not hurt at all to grab a really strong physical
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
We'll just see if he can stay healthy because he's had some problems with that the past few years. I don't think he's been like healthy at all the past 2 years.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he can string together a full season.
For sure.
Oklahoma State, they got Devo Davis from Arkansas. I don't like Oklahoma State's roster, but I mean, you take Devo. He's a solid pickup, has potential.
For sure.
Yeah, this is a
Definitely
rough
bad
roster.
roster, but what's new?
Yeah, we'll see though. They have a good coach, I think. I think we both like Lutz in general. Um, but yeah, we'll see how that works out. He's definitely had lots of ups and lots of downs in his college career. Utah, they got Baylor transfer Myro Little, and they also got Caleb Boner, but Caleb Boner did commit to Utah for playing football. He's still leaving the door open to maybe play basketball as well. But yeah, Little, very solid pickup. Didn't do too much as a freshman at Baylor, but still got some minutes, played about every game. So yeah, Utah's had a pretty rough portal season overall, so Little definitely very good pick up there.
Hmm.
And anything you can get out of Loner, like I think you would take that because Loner was committed to Utah like back in the day before he flipped to BYU. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, Utah. We'll see how that works out.
Big
G
tight end
Bailey,
falling though.
um, G Bailey from Richmond. He is committed to LSU. Don't No, that doesn't stick out to me. Like it's a solid pickup though. Had a very good season at Richmond this year, a little bit of a breakout year. RJ Jones from K State has committed to TCU. Believe he's a pretty good shooter. Did not see a ton of minutes this year as a freshman, but I like that pickup there. Another guy in a similar situation was Jordan Burks from Kentucky, who has committed to Georgetown. Didn't see too many minutes as a freshman, but definitely has his fair share of potential there. So yeah, any thoughts on those two?
Yeah, just high ceiling, low risk pickups. Yeah.
Yes. Boise State got a few guys. They got Arizona big man Dylan Anderson. Solid pickup, redshirted this year, but was a pretty good recruit coming out of high school, so it's 3 years left. And they also got Javen Buchanan, an NAI transfer. Believe he was an All-American NAI level. So yeah, two solid pickups. Boise State probably gonna be pretty good. Actually gonna be really good, I think. But yeah, McNeese, they just keep getting better. They got Quadir Copeland from Syracuse yesterday, so they have like so much talent. They have like a full like 10-man rotation of high major players pretty much.
Yeah, they might be better than last year somehow. I don't
Mhm.
know if that was possible, but they might be.
They
Um,
might be. They're too
then
good.
Brandon Murray came through as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, or
Like a
don't
lot of
know.
these guys are going to be coming off the bench too. Like you can't start all of them because they still have like Mike Saunders, Deivon Garcia,
It's like those guys are back.
like they have so much talent. Who else they have? Like, yeah, they might have Alan Breed because like remember when he was like randomly in their like team picture at the like their tournament shoot around? Like it was like,
What's
yeah, how did he get here? But yeah, if
There's
he's
so
fully
many.
cleared,
He just he's a magnet for talent. Yeah, everyone
yeah,
talks to him, dude.
yeah, and they got like Joe Charles from the portal. Like, oh, he got all of these guys. Like they're gonna be they're gonna be so good. Um, yeah, Will Wade is dominating there. Chance Jenkins has committed to Seton Hall from Old Dominion. Solid pickup. Seton Hall, they've had a rough offseason. NIL based, but yeah. Tough offseason, but Jenkins is a pretty solid pickup, pretty productive player at Old Dominion.
Hopefully,
Layden,
yeah, right. He's regressed a bit over his career. I think he's definitely not gotten better. Hopefully under Shaw, maybe we can get him to be a little bit better defensively. Uh, maybe he could be a little more efficient. I'm not as excited about that, but him with
yeah.
Hamilton could be kind of
Yeah,
interesting
Scotty Middleton, I think will be really good there.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, Layden Blocker from Arkansas has committed to DePaul. I like
Oh,
this one. I really like Blocker. Even though he didn't play a ton this season, I really liked what I did see from him. He plays with a ton of energy, um, can get to the rim. And
could
yeah,
win it,
DePaul's
Walker. you know. He's a high energy guy, coaches
Mm-hmm.
drink, young.
Yes. DePaul's roster is finalized now. I don't think you're going to be too good, but like they also won't be that bad.
Yeah, I mean, they will be good enough to beat Villanova once.
Yeah, if as long as yeah, they will be. USC transfer Isaiah Sellers has committed to Stanford. Stanford's kind of at a point where you just take any transfer that can get into school there. And yeah, Sellers is a solid pickup. He still has 2 years left. Good shooter. Should definitely provide some guard help. But yeah, Stanford just needs every transfer that Stanford can get into school, they need to take. Like Chisholm Okpara, they got to take him at Stanford. Like Darren Saran, I think is still out there. Um, I know Stanford was recruiting him. He should be able to get him. Got to take him. Like it might be a rough few years for Kyle Smith, but he'll build the program up.
Mhm.
Um, Tyler Cochran from Toledo, he is committed to Oregon State. Really like this pickup. Really physical guard, wing, kind of whatever. Pretty big, can get his way to the rim. I like this pickup in the WCC especially. Um, San Diego
Stanford,
trans.
their best pickup so far.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would agree. They've had a few pretty solid ones. Um, yeah, but Wayne McKinney, San Diego transfer, he is not leaving the city, committing to San Diego State. Good guard addition for them. Um,
Team's getting really
obviously,
they're being really slept on right now. At least I'm a little upset that Saunders left, but they still do have
yeah,
Miles ID. They still have plenty of guys back there in the front court. So I mean, they will be fine.
yeah,
Boyd and McKinney's gonna be a really good backcourt at that level. And then you got guys like BJ Davis. You
mm-hmm,
got Farrell Compton's gonna help the front court.
yes. Miles Bird still there.
Bird should definitely take a step up this year. Should get, I think, a lot of starting minutes. So, yeah, really excited for them.
Yes. FAU, they got Jacksonville State transfer Kiki Tandy. Can really shoot, can really score. Definitely had his moments at Xavier. Was hurt a lot of his time there though. Um, when he played there previously to Jacksonville State. But yeah, had a really good season this year. This is a good pickup.
Let's
FAU,
talk about that German guy they got.
yeah,
He
not a
is
portal guy, but he is really good.
he is
Like he was supposed to go to
good.
Marquette. Like
He is
Marquette was like supposed to get him, and he randomly commits to FAU.
the reason I'm like really in on FAU is like comparing him to Memphis. Like I this German kid is so good to me.
He is good. He is going to be pretty good. They
I
also
think
got some other international guy from NBA Academy.
he also
But yeah,
look good. Like
the
they
German guy I think is going to be good. I need to watch some more stuff. But like the fact that like Marquette was like going to get him and then he just like committed to FAU instead, that's pretty big.
no, yeah, like the fit of FAU's roster could be really nice.
Good
Uh,
backcourt with Walker and Tandy.
right.
Yes,
I mean,
I
and you
like
got
it.
guy at like 3 or 4. He's got good size. Like I don't know how they're doing at center, but this international guy thinks a center that they just got.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm trying to think of if
that
they
other
have any
guy you were
big.
talking about, I believe he's a big, so he'd probably be one of their center
Yeah, I think
options.
he's like a wing. I don't know if they have any. Let me check if they have any big men right now. I know they also got Caleb Glenn, who is actually pretty good from Louisville. Um, well, let me check on the big status there. Yeah, they don't have any like forwards. They have one international guy they got this year, from Lithuania, but
Okay,
they could definitely use like a big or two. We'll see how that works out.
yeah, backcourt is nice.
Yes. Tulane, they're stacking up on guys. They got Rowan Brumbaugh from Georgetown, who had a solid season, was pretty good down the stretch in a lot of games. 3 years left there. They also just got a bunch of random guys. They got Mari Jordan, Georgia redshirt freshman, Michael Elay from Siena, Tyler Ringgold, Texas A&M redshirt freshman. There's these guys have potential.
Ron Hunter's really rolling the dice this year. That's for sure.
Yes, yes,
Um, Definitely less proven guys than the years
yes.
past. Um,
But they
I
have
mean,
potential. Like Mari
they,
Jordan, I think was like a top 100 guy last year and just redshirted.
I kind of like their batch of them last year a little more. You had like King, Kobe King, guys with
Mm-hmm.
legit proven at the Power Five level. And then
Yeah.
Trent was really good. Um, Ely's a bit of a shot chucker,
Yeah.
and then at this level, in a really good defensive conference in the American, I don't see it working.
We'll see.
And then yeah, just the others seem fine though. I mean,
Yeah, I
again, red
mean,
shirts
two
from
two high
the
major red
level.
shirts, so 4 years left with both of those guys. Brumba, I think, is
Yeah,
going to be pretty good there.
yeah. Brumball's it's just an odd fit for him. Definitely not the fit I was imagining, but it could end up being all right.
Yes, we will see. UC Santa Barbara, they're also stacking up on guys. They got Max Morrell from Stanford, Kenny Poto from Wichita State, Colin Smith from Vanderbilt. Three very solid pickups. UC Santa Barbara just out recruits the Big West in terms of talent.
They always do. Especially last year when they thought they had a lot of talent on their roster and it just didn't pan out. So their coach
Yeah,
was like, "Yeah, we're gonna make sure that we have talent on our roster
yeah,
this
they
year."
definitely have talent.
Um,
Um,
they have a loaded front court and back court.
mhm.
You got Deuce Turner in the backcourt, loading up with front court guys of Poto and Morel. So Colin Smith should be an elite wing.
Yes. Colin
Uh,
Smith was like supposed to go to Dayton, but then they got Santos back, and then so he went to
yeah,
UC Santa Barbara instead. I believe that's how that worked. Chris Conway, Oakland transfer, is committed to Washington. Solid pickup for him. Gives him a little bit of size. He was solid at Oakland this year. Nothing crazy, but
mhm.
solid pickup there, I guess. Leon Bond III has committed to Northern Iowa from Virginia. I really like this one. I think he's going to be pretty good at Northern Iowa.
For sure.
Like he has 3 years left. Wasn't bad at Virginia this year necessarily. So yeah, that's one I really like. Miles Che from Chattanooga has committed to UC Irvine. I do like this one. Was pretty productive as a freshman at Chattanooga, averaged like 7, 8 points a game. Um, yeah, I think he's going to be pretty good at UC Irvine as a sophomore. And UC Irvine, I think they have a lot back too. They could be pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't love them last year. I think they lacked that star player. I think they still
yeah,
do. Um,
yeah,
they're
we'll
balanced.
see.
Mm.
Yes. Um, UMass, they got some guys. They got Akil Watson from Arizona State, and they got Daniel Rivera from Bryant. Two very solid forward big man pickups. In a market currently that is um, lacking a ton of
Very
big men.
good.
They got two of them.
Mm.
So yeah, Rivera's very good on defense, very physical, and Watson is a freshman. He was a freshman this year. Was a very highly ranked recruit in his early days of high school, though. So we'll see. But definitely two very good commitments there. Zach Anderson from Florida Gulf Coast has committed to George Mason. Like this one, gives him some shooting, some physicality on a wing. Um, yeah,
Yeah,
like that one.
yeah, it was in on him and for him to get the George Mason.
Yes. Yes. I mean, I think it's a case where like you could have gone Indiana and came off the bench or come to George Mason and started. So it just kind of depends what the priorities are there. Um,
Hmm.
UTSA, they got a few guys. They got Primo Spears, as you mentioned earlier. That's going to be something. I don't know. I guess you take him. He's talented.
Yeah, at that level.
Yeah, I don't know. They also got Marcus Melender from South Alabama. Pretty good production this year as a freshman. So I do really like that one. I don't know what to think about Primo Spears because like he's not like a winning player. Like he's actually a losing player. But like he's very talented. I think you take him at UTSA. Like I think.
Yeah, especially with the rosters they've had recently.
Yeah, new coach though, so they're gonna be better. Um, yeah. Deivon Barnes from Tarleton State has committed to UTEP. I like this one. I'm a big Deivon Barnes guy. I think he can be a good Tay Hardy replacement.
Yeah,
Really efficient scorer. Had a lot of huge games down the stretch for Tarleton State, and yeah, 2 years left. I'm a,
Great Jay Hardy replacement.
I'm really in on this pickup.
Hmm.
Georgia Tech got Georgetown transfer Ryan Mutombo. Hasn't really done anything last few years. Was like okay as a freshman, but the backup big market, I guess you take him.
Yeah, honestly, like, man, some of the backup bigs that are in the market literally just have no upside at all or any kind
Yeah.
of
And I guess
positive.
Mutombo has upside. Like he was kind of good as a freshman, just like fell off a cliff after
Yeah,
that.
and catch the ball.
Yeah, I don't even know. But yeah,
Not
he has some
coordinated.
size,
Yeah.
athleticism, so we'll see. Minnesota get a few guys. They got Trey Edmonds, UTSA big man. That's their backup big. I guess it's fine. Um, Given a backup big market, they got Femi Odukale from New Mexico State. They also got Caleb Williams from D3 McAllister. He was a guy who had like 40 against him when they played an exhibition this year. So moving up in the world, going to the school he lit up in an exhibition. But yeah, Odukale is intriguing. He's always kind of been like an intriguing guy. It's like I don't know.
He didn't he was well, he was out half the year last year. Let me not
He
be
was
too
like good, but like he's also like might be an
he
off the
didn't do
court issue.
enough either. Yeah, like he was
I
very
don't
low
know.
usage,
He's pretty good though. I think he can play. I mean, he's proven to play at a high major level. So those three pickups are fine. Another UTSA transfer off the board. UTSA is having like a lot of transfers go really high considering how bad they were.
They
But
are.
yeah, Carlton Lingard off to San Francisco. Solid pickup for the Dons. He's a big guy, can shoot a little bit, good rim protector. Yeah, I mean, at a mid plus level, I like
San
that.
Francisco loves their, stretch the floor bigs, so I'm not shocked.
Yes. Yes. Rihard Vivers from Quinnipiac. He is committed to Washington State. Um, had some pretty solid production as a freshman there. So yeah. Not a bad pickup there. Good size. I think can shoot pretty decently. Shy Odom from Howard has committed to Vermont. This is a nice one. This is a
Mm.
nice one.
Man,
Vermont,
Vermont doesn't usually have players like this. Okay.
but they,
Athletic.
they now they have like him. They have Shamir Bogues, I think, is going to be back. They have Jalen Young from Memphis. Like they have some guys who are like good athletes.
I know. I'm not used to John Becker like getting athletes. What are
Yeah,
we doing here?
it's just too unfair for the rest of the conference. They're going to dominate the conference.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be good.
Once again, likely. We'll see if Brian's
They had
talent
a chance
can
this year
work
and
out.
team split. They're not going to have a chance next year.
Yes. Florida State, they got a UTSA guy as well, Justin Thomas, who was hurt this year, did not play. He was previously at Milwaukee. They also got Boston Holt from South Dakota. Not really sure why they took either of these guys. I guess they're both bench pieces, but it's going to be a rough year for Florida State if like these are the guys you're getting.
They have
Nothing against these guys. Like they're
such a
solid
weird portal
mid-major
system.
pickups. I don't know what they're
But
doing.
that's Leonard Hamilton. The last couple of years, man, just does not
Yeah,
care.
he's just ruining his reputation at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Pacific, they got some guys. They got Jazz Gardner from Nevada and Elijah Fisher from DePaul. Two guys that I think are really good pickups for Pacific.
Wow. Yeah. They have a new coach there too. Really
Yes,
good start
yes.
to the tenure.
Yeah, they
Again,
also got Lamar
very
Washington another week from Texas Tech.
arguably high major guys. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
they could have gone to a high major team, and you're getting them in the WCC. They'll
and
take
because of how bad Pacific was last year too, like,
right. It's going to be a night and day difference.
for sure. Um, But yeah, Utah State, they got Carter Welling from UC Irvine, really productive as a freshman. They also got his brother Hayden Welling, who did not play a ton, but those two were likely a package deal, both
Yeah.
from, or no, they got Utah Valley is where they went. I totally messed that up.
I'm about
Went
to
to
say
Utah Valley. They were going to go to Utah State, is why I said that. But then Utah Valley, I don't know if Utah State went his brother. Yeah, they went to Utah Valley. I totally messed it up. But yeah, really good pickups.
mhm.
Especially Carter. Hayden's just like a that big piece wing. Yeah, that's pretty nice though. Colorado State, they got some guys. They got Nikola Joppa from LIU, freshman big man there. They got Bowen Bourne from Northern Iowa. I think he can be pretty good there. They also got Jalen Crocker Johnson, Little Rock freshman, who was pretty productive as a freshman. So two guys with 3 years of eligibility. Bourne only has 1 year, but he's a good scorer. So yeah,
I could just imagine. I'm getting excited. The Keyshawn Williams, Bowen Board backcourt. What the heck?
that could be
Oh,
pretty nice.
that could be so nice. But we'll see. Like
We'll see. Yeah.
with Nico Medved, ooh,
Mm-hmm. That's probably
that
gonna be
rock
pretty
could be
nice.
really nice.
Yes. Dusan Neskovic from Dartmouth has committed to Richmond. Rough season for Dartmouth, but he was their best
It was
player.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah,
He'll be really good at Richmond. I think Chris
I
Mooney's
think
gonna
so.
really. Chris Mooney is just big man, a great big man coach. Just put it that way.
Yes,
Now
yes. High Point, they continue to out-recruit the conference. They got Terry Anderson from Lamar, really good player there this season. They also got Demorian Williams from Texas Tech, who was formerly one of the best players in the conference. So, two elite pickups there. High Point, they have money.
yeah, they it out recruit the
Yes.
conference.
San Jose State, they got Stephen F. Austin transfer Day Day Hall, who had formerly committed to Cal Baptist before opening up his recruitment, going to San Jose State. Pretty solid pickup.
Yeah,
Um, probably about the right level for him. Another Mountain West school getting guy. Fresno State, they got more Seiko. I know you really like Hawaii backup big. Really good rim protector.
is their
So
coach
yeah,
fired?
yeah, they have new
Let's
coach.
go. Good. All right.
Yeah, he should be a good big man. Now, assuming we'll see how he comes back from injury. I know he think he tore his ACL this season, so
Who the heck else does Fresno have?
I don't even know. Let me check the roster.
They
Um,
had some guys leave too, like Dussell's gone.
because like I don't know if they have like another guy in there. I mean, they have guys. I just don't know. Yeah, they got some JUCO guys. They got
Oh boy.
yeah. I don't even know. It's not. They got like the number. They got like the JUCO player of the year. I do know that. I don't know how good he's gonna be, but we'll see. Charleston, they got Green Bay transfer Elijah Jones, solid wing forward, I believe. Green Bay. So yeah, Chris Mack is cooking, solid rotational piece there. Duquesne, they got some guys filled the roster. They got Elijah Wilborn from St. Francis, was productive as a freshman there. They also got Maximus Edwards from within the conference from George Washington. Had a few pretty solid years there. Physical guard. So yeah, good pickups for Drew Joyce in his first year at Duquesne.
He's loading
Indiana's,
up.
yes, roster is complete. We'll see if they have to make an exception for Bronny if he ends up withdrawing from draft. I don't know. He might stay in the draft at this point, though. Duquesne doesn't have any
What?
spots, but if they need a spot, they'll get one.
Yeah,
Yeah, Indiana State, they got some guys. They got Tyron Cook from VMI, freshman there, was decent. And they also got Marcus Harding from Central Michigan, pretty decent big man as well. So yeah, post shirts era. But yeah, these are two solid pickups.
mhm.
It's gonna be a lot harder to win there now without shirts, but yeah, I guess you take these guys. Elijah Gray has committed to Temple from Fordham. Solid pickup there. Incarnate Word, they got another Ball State guy in the backcourt. They got Davion Bailey, who was really good at Ball State, as well as Jalen Anderson, who committed a long time ago. Incarnate Word is going to be kind of good, I think.
Yeah, is
Um,
that some coach there though?
it was his first year last year.
Oh, all right, good. I thought they had a stinker there. But are they in McNeese's conference?
They are. Yeah, they're not going to win the conference, but like they have some talent. They have some
They're
talent.
probably the second best team. I don't know how
Yeah.
Corpus Christi still is.
Corpus Christi's kind of always going to be good though. Like the
They're always
basically the
going to be
past few
good.
years, they always just like find a way to be good no matter who they really have.
Really
Trying
true,
to
but
think if anyone else is good. I don't know. Jason
Southeast.
Nelson,
Yeah. Mhm.
though, he's off to Youngstown State, VCU transfer. Good pickup for Youngstown State. They're still kind of killing the portal, even though they don't
They
have
are.
Calhoun anymore. So I like to see that. Georgia Washington, they got Gerald Drumgoole Jr. from Delaware. I actually do like that a lot.
What a good season. Yeah.
Yes. Darius Burford from Illinois State committed to UT Arlington. A solid pickup at that level. Burford's been a pretty productive player his whole college career. Um, from Elon and in Illinois State. Then Southern Miss, they got some guys. They got Denjay Harris, Marfo back to Southern Miss from Arkansas. Um,
How
they
does
also
he have
got
a year left?
he was like hurt one of his JUCO years, so he like got a redshirt, I think. He's been around for a while though. They also got D'Antoni Gordon from Little Rock. Um, two good pickups for Southern Miss. Wyoming got Portland big man Yuto Yamanuchi Williams. Actually, a pretty solid pickup. He's been pretty productive both years in college. This past year at Portland, and I believe he was at Lamar as a freshman.
Wyoming's probably looking pretty rough, I would assume.
Yeah.
They lose Cott. They lose Griffin.
Griffin. Yeah, let's check it out.
They
Try. I
still
mean,
have Walters, correct?
nah, I don't think so.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
Mm,
they got it might be a little rough. They got some guys though. Well, we'll see how it works. I don't think they're gonna be that good, but they might be okay. Kyron Lindsey from Texas Tech has committed to Murray State. Um, I really like that one.
yeah, really good pickup for that level.
He's gonna be
That
really good at Murray State.
athlete that'll succeed at Murray. Yeah.
Yes. Let's see. UT Rio Grande Valley got some pretty good pickups. They got KT Ramey from DePaul. Obviously, DePaul was bad, but he had some flash here and there. He was a good JUCO guy back in the day. They also got Cliff Davis from Northwestern State, can really shoot the ball. Two really good pickups for Khalil Fennell in his first offseason as head coach at UT Rio Grande Valley. Grant Newell has committed to North Texas from Cal. I like that one.
It should be a high level rotation player.
Yes. Um, Long Beach State, they got some guys. They got TJ Wainwright from Robert Morris. I believe he's from Los Angeles, so this one makes sense. Average double digits as a sophomore there. They also got Ramel Lloyd from Nebraska, who I don't think ever played a game, but he's kind of banged up. But yeah, he was like a 4-star in high school, so should be interesting to see if he can get on the court.
Don't they have Askew and Issa Silva?
I think Silva transferred. They got Askew though.
Silva transferred again? Oh,
I think so. I don't
I
know.
didn't
He's
know that,
he's not
but
that good either way.
no, I know. Just be a meme squad. I don't know.
Yes. Um, PJ Fuller just like came out of nowhere. Like he committed to Detroit Mercy last offseason, never ended up there. So he's back with his last year of eligibility, and he's at Cal State Northridge. Pretty solid pickup for Cal State Northridge. He was never
Yeah,
really good, but like he played everywhere he was. Like he like played at TCU and Washington, even though he was never like that good.
all
So like
right.
good pickup for Northridge for sure. Um, James Madison got Texas A&M transfer Bryce Lindsey. I believe he is a good shooter. Still has a lot of eligibility left there. Good pickup for Preston Spradlin. Delaware, they got a few guys. They got Taron Allen from Wagner. They got John Camden from Virginia Tech. Two pretty solid pickups at that level, I guess. Camden hasn't really done anything in college, but ideally is a good shooting forward. And Allen has been pretty productive in
I'm
his
really interested
time.
to see how Cam would be at that level. I think he could be
Yeah.
good. I don't know.
Yes. Houston Christian transfer Marcus Green has committed to Hawaii. Pretty good shooter. He was actually decent. Despite Houston Christian being like one of those really bad teams, he can shoot the ball. Longwood, they continue their transfer success. They got Angelo Brizzi from Davidson. Yeah, we'll see. They have a good backcourt though.
We
It's
do, right? Like
loaded.
he might come off the bench.
He will come off the bench, I think.
Mhm.
Max Polo has committed to Montana State from Utah State. He's intriguing, I guess. He hasn't been good for like 3 years though, so we'll
We'll
see.
take him at the Big Sky, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. He has at least
Hmm.
has intriguing athleticism, physicality. Not really physicality. He's just athletic, long, lanky. Bowling Green, they got a few good pickups. They got Wilkins Exacte Jr. from Utah, who was injured this year, but played a little bit as a freshman last year. They also got his D2 guy, Marcus Jackson from Wheeling. His skill set is like so intriguing. He's like a big like 6'7" guy, but like he's like an elite shooter off the dribble. So we'll see if his highlights actually turn into like him being good. But his film is like like it's fun. Elijah Jameson has committed to UNC Wilmington from Milwaukee, going back to his home state. Like
I
that
like
one.
that. Yeah,
Um, Jalen Smith from SMU following Rob Lanier to Rice. Solid pickup for Rice there. Nothing crazy, but he'll be a pretty good player in that conference. Prophet Johnson from Southern Utah committed to Fairfield. So solid pickup there. Fairfield, they've had a good portal season. Deion Perry was a big get.
for sure.
William Jeffress has committed to Louisiana Tech from Pitt. Role player was hurt a few seasons or something like that,
Good
but
pickup, though. Yeah,
yeah, he should be at least an impactful athlete defender in that conference, Conference USA. Louisiana Tech. Isaiah Hawthorne from San Francisco has committed to Northern Colorado. Solid pickup there. D.A. Houston from Longwood has committed to Coastal Carolina. Ismail Plett from Arkansas Pine Bluff has committed to Robert Morris. Des White from Austin P has committed to Missouri State. Pretty good as a freshman, so I like that
mhm.
one. Malachi Davis from Arizona State has committed to LIU. This one can be really fun if he's like good because
All right,
he was a really good JUCO prospect. Didn't really fit at Arizona State, but he could put up some points at LIU.
for
Um,
sure.
Samford, they got Wagner transfer Julian Brown. 3 years of eligibility left. Good shooter at the guard position there. So good addition. Brian Moore Jr. from Murray State has committed to Norfolk State. Like that one. Um, SIU, they got 2 Missouri State transfers. They got Tyler Bay and Damian Mayo Jr. 2 solid rotation players there. They also got Deivon Sykes from Texas State, who is actually pretty good. So
Mhm.
3 solid pickups for Scott Nagy, Scott Nagy, SIU. Kellen Boylan from Air Force, he has committed to Lipscomb. Um, Connor Dubsky has committed to UNC Asheville, Rhode Island freshman. Should be pretty good there. They've had some shooters in past few years. I think he can be the next one
Definitely.
potentially. Um, Ryan Mabry from Miami, Ohio, he is committed to Quinnipiac. Malachi Nadur has followed um, Brian Earl from Cornell to William and Mary. Jefferson de la Cruz Monegro has committed to Valpo from Central Michigan. And then some big D2 guys off the board. Kieran Elliott from West Texas A&M, very good D2 program. He is committed to Cal Poly, was only a freshman this year, averaged like 13 and 7, I believe. So yeah, really good pickup for Cal Poly. I think he's going to be pretty good. Matt Becht has committed to Merrimack, transfer from Southern New Hampshire. He can really shoot the ball. Should be really good addition for Merrimack. Um, Jalen Barr from Flagler. He is committed to Iona. Really athletic, really good defender. I think should definitely see a big role with Iona as a really good glue guy. And then Jacob Darr from Emory and Henry. He has committed to Brown. Solid forward, solid skill set, good athleticism. Um, those were all the commitments. We do have one decommitment. That's Riley Kugel. Yeah, it was bound to happen,
Mm.
but it's official now. He will not end up at Kansas. Don't know where he's gonna end up. Um, yeah, we'll see. He's academics are an issue.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll see though. He has a high ceiling. I think we
For
both are like Kugel still, sort of. Do you still like him?
Yeah, I mean, the right fit for sure.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Few withdrawals. Nate Santos back to Dayton pretty quickly after he entered a portal. good for Dayton to get him back. He had a really good year after not being anything at Pitt, really. So, like to get those guys back. Rafael Pinzone back at Bryant. Um, Bent Lupton back at UC Irvine. Really like that one. Alan Sumler is back at Charleston Southern. Kennard Davis is back at SIU. Pretty decent freshman there. Ethan Pickett back at UIC. And Cam Pelez back at Canisius. So, yeah, a few big withdrawals, a few smaller ones, but let's get into the biggest entries of the past week. And by the past week, I mean like past like the first like 3 days of the last week because the portal's closed, but these are the biggest names since the portal ended up closing. Portal since we podcasted last before the portal closed. So these will be the last entries that we talk about.
Just run through them.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see. I had D'Antoine Grimes at 10.
I had a Monmouth legend Amon Sandu. Go.
Yeah. Yeah, Grimes played at Baylor a little bit this year, transferred to Southeastern Louisiana midseason, is back in the portal. So he was like kind of good at Baylor, but probably was never really a high major player in the first place. But did have
Yeah,
really
there's
good,
prospects like that.
yeah, did have really good efficiency at the games he did play. But yeah,
Hey man, the big man market is one for the taking. Amon Sandu, big Indian guy. There's not many Indian players in college basketball, man. You're looking for somebody who can, bring a unique
he's a big
skill
guy.
set. Yeah. I wanted to throw him on here. But yeah, at number 9, I got Latrell Reeves. So.
Yeah, I did as well. He's actually pretty good. He was, I think, was the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Um, St. Peter's is a pretty good team. He was a big part of that. Obviously Washington was their main guy, but Reed's solid passer, pretty inefficient from the field, but definitely does give you a lot of things. Efficiency is not one of them, though. But yeah, he's solid for what he does give you. I'm straight at him at 9 as well. 8, I had Josh Duje from Utah State.
Like
He
Caden
was
Cooper, 8. Let me just
okay.
include Duche.
Yes. Yeah, Uduje was solid at Utah State, was a solid rotational player. Probably going into Portal looking for a bigger role. He did announce he would be back, but Utah State did get some other guys. So yeah, if he wants to enter a portal now, then whatever. That's just kind of how it works with the guys they got over
Good
him.
two-way player.
Yeah. Um, good scorer. Not great, but was a solid player on a pretty good tournament team. So yeah, I had him at 8. I had Caden Cooper at 7 then.
Mhm.
Good
I
athleticism.
slide it in a Duche at 7.
Okay, so flip flop there, but yeah, Cooper is always kind of a guy that was going to be more of a project in my opinion. So I'm not like surprised he didn't do that much, but I also just think he has some upside definitely with his athleticism. And yeah, I think he can be pretty good down the line still, even though he did nothing this year. That was kind of maybe he did a little bit less than I was expecting, but I still think he can be good.
At 6, I got PJ Hayes, shooter for San
I
Diego.
had PJ Hayes at 6 as well. I like PJ Hayes. I'm a
Yeah,
PJ
I
Hayes
am
guy
some
for
big
sure.
PJ Hayes fan.
He can really shoot a ball. Has good size for a wing too. I heard
Great
Rutgers was
off-ball
involved with
player.
him. That would be great if he went to Rutgers.
It
Like
would
that's
be.
exactly what they need.
A lot of teams need off-ball shooting now, so
Yes.
he should really be a higher commodity. But
Yeah, I mean he is.
coaches
He
have to do their
is.
research.
He
Yeah.
is. I'm sure he's getting tons of interest due to his availability and his ability to shoot. Good size too on the wing. Got a lot of things you like. Um, at 6, I had Trevon Brazil, or at 5, I had Trevon Brazil. 6, I had PJ
Same here.
Hayes.
I had Brazil
Um,
as well.
he's intriguing. I don't know. I think he's probably gonna stay in the draft though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, an NBA team probably still will take a waiver on him.
Yeah, he was disappointing this year. Like I thought he was gonna be really good, and he just
He just got to
wasn't
show that he cares.
really.
Like I think he was in the Clell
Yeah,
Ware position last year. He's in that position now. The motor's not all the way there. I think he could
yeah.
really benefit from going back to school, showing scouts that he cares,
Got a lot of
showing
upside
scouts
though.
that he is motor. Obviously, he did get hurt. It's part of it, but um,
Tons of upside though.
yeah. I mean, I think he really benefits from going back to school here, like Kalel Ware did, and to really build up your stock. So
Yes. The only difference is he is like 2 years older than Clover. So
yeah,
yeah. Four I had Van Allen Lubin from
I had
Vanderbilt.
him before as well. I mean, they're running a ton of entries, so we might
Yeah,
have
I mean
exact list here.
he was pretty good this season despite Vanderbilt being bad. He was good to end of the season. Um, and yeah, gonna be a pretty good pickup for whoever. Solid rim protector, 4-5. Good rebounder, pretty efficient from the field. Yeah, a lot of things to like, I think.
Yeah, can't go wrong with him.
Yeah. Number three is where I had Jameer Watkins
Same. Yeah,
from Florida State. Had a really good year this year, despite
he was.
Florida State being so bad, but he really broke out coming from VCU. Like he got better
It can
transferring up a
only
level.
it only makes you think how good he actually would have been if he was on like a well coached team. Because he was this good on Florida
Yes.
State,
Yes.
an
I mean he
absolute train wreck of a team.
yes, I mean he was elite defensively, got more efficient. I
Efficient,
mean, he's always
yeah.
been elite defensively, but yeah, can really draw contact at the rim. Became a little bit more of a passer this year. Was kind of like a point guard at times. Um, yeah, he was really good. Um, two is
I
where I
will,
had Cam Christie.
yeah, same. I had that.
Um, we have like the same list almost.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, he had a good freshman season. Good shooter. Definitely has ups and downs. Like I remember in like the Missouri game when like they blew that huge lead. He came in the game and like I think it was like late in the game. He like threw a shot off the side of the backboard or something like that. But he's pretty good. Was one of the best freshmen in the country. Good shooter. Probably another guy that's gonna stay in draft. I think Watkins probably gonna stay in the draft too. But
Me
if
too.
these guys come back to college, I'm sure teams will be putting up some offers that potentially are bigger than what they would get as their first contract in NBA. So yeah,
Yeah, sure.
that's on the table. And number one, I'm assuming we both had Achor from
Mm-hmm.
Samford. Um, he was really good. I think he's best as a four at the power conference level
I
as
agree.
opposed to a five. But yeah, good athleticism, elite rim protector, good rebounder, can draw contact, can kind of
I
shoot a
like
little
him as a
bit.
four more because he's not the most mobile. Um, so I
Yes.
think as a four, you can get away with not being as mobile. Because you just sometimes as a four, you're just guarding a stretch forward, just floats around the perimeter and doesn't move.
Yes.
So you don't really have to worry about boxing them out a ton. They're not going to get very physical. They're not going to move a lot. That's a five. Fives move around a good bit. Like, you can go block to block, high post to high post. They can play in the perimeter. That's why I always put like the less mobile bigs actually as at like a four usually. Because the stretch four is just so popular in today's game. So yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that wraps up the podcast. One commitment that just popped up that we should talk about is Roddy Anderson to Xavier. Like, is he gonna play? But I like it.
Roddy, oh,
He's gonna be like their third string point guard. That's an amazing pickup, or like a more like a off ball guard. But like when you get him and he's gonna play like 10 minutes a game, maybe. Like that's
yeah,
good. That's nice.
sure.
Like they just have Xavier has so much depth, but they also have like the top end talent. I think so.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot. Xavier's gonna be so good. Um, yeah, I mean I'm not a huge Roddy Anderson guy, but when he's like your like 11th or 12th man, like that's pretty good. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. But yeah, any other notes before we end the podcast?
Should be it.
Yeah, well, yeah, make sure to follow us on all of our social media platforms at Hoop Scoop Media, Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube. That would be appreciated, as well as the podcast platform. Subscribe, 5-star review would be much appreciated. But yeah, um, we'll hopefully move into some different types of content here on the podcast with the entries officially done. But yeah, appreciate everyone for listening and stay tuned for the next episode of Portal Bonanza to come out.